In this video, you'll see how to create filters for elements based on their properties. And you'll see how to assign those filters to views to control the display of those elements. I have the exercise file View Filters open, and we're looking at the Floor 2 furniture plan, which has the walls coloured in blue and the furniture coloured in grey. I'll go to the Properties palette and click the Edit button next to the Visibility Graphic Overrides to open the settings. And now, scrolling down the list of model categories here, we can see the Walls category has had the cut pattern overridden in a solid blue fill. If I scroll back up to the Furniture category, although it's not immediately obvious, if I select it, we can see that the projection surface pattern here has been overridden to a solid grey fill. And that's why the walls and the furniture are displayed in those colours in the view. I'll click Cancel to close the Visibility Graphic Overrides. And in this view, we'd like the desks and tables to be highlighted in a different colour to the rest of the furniture. So if I select one of the tables here, we can see this is the family table rectangular. And if I pick on the desk here, this will be the desk family. So in order to control the display of these separate to the rest of the furniture category, we'll need to create a filter. And to do this, we'll go to the View ribbon tab, and from the Graphics panel, we can click the Filters button. So now in the filters here, we can see that we have some already created. We'll go to the bottom of the box here and click to create a new filter. So we'll name this one Desks and Tables, and then click OK to create that filter. So first, we need to go to the categories, and scrolling down, we need to choose the Furniture category, as this is the category we want to filter on. And now for the filter rules, this acts a little bit like a search. So we're going to search for the family name, and that family name must contain the word table. Now we also want to search for the desks as well, so I'll click Add Rule, and now we have a second search term here, so we'll set this to be family name also, and contains, and then desk. Now the default for these is that when we have multiple rules here, they are and that means that the name would have to contain both table and desk. So we'll change the setting here to be or, which means now that it can contain either table or desk. So now we'll click OK to save that filter. And to apply it to the view, we'll go to the Properties palette here and we'll click the Edit button next to Visibility Graphic Overrides. So now we'll go to the Filters tab, and we can see we have none applied, so we'll click the Add button here. From the list of filters, we'll pick the Desks and Tables filter and then click OK to add that to our view. So now we have that added, we can see we have all of the controls there for the filter. So for example, if I uncheck visibility and then click Apply, we can see the desks and tables are no longer visible in the view behind us. I'll reselect the visibility toggle and click Apply once more so we can see them in the view. And now we'll click the Override button for the surface patterns here, and we'll change this to be a solid fill, and then we'll set the colour to be orange. So we'll click OK to assign the colour, and then OK to assign the override. And now if I click OK to close down the Visibility Graphic Overrides, we can see the desks and tables in that view are now coloured in orange, whilst the rest of the furniture is coloured in grey. We also need to create a view that will highlight the fire rating of the different walls. So to do this, we'll first go to the project browser and open up the Floor 2 Dimensions plan. And in this view, we can see that the furniture and equipment is hidden and that there are no overrides to the colours of the objects. So we'll go back to the project browser and we'll right click over this view and then choose Duplicate View, Duplicate to create a copy of this view. So now we'll right click over the view and we'll rename this to be Floor 2 Fire Compartment. And now if I select one of the walls in the view here, and then we'll go to the Properties palette and we can see that this is the interior 5.5 inch partition 1 hour. I'll click Edit Type to access its type properties, and scrolling down to the identity data, we We can see the fire rating parameter here and it's set to be 1 hour. I'll click OK to close this. And now we'll select the wall on the top of the corridor here, and we can see that this is the interior 5-inch partition 2 hour, and we'll click edit type again, and now we can see its fire rating parameter is set to be 2 hours. I'll click cancel to close this. And now we'll go to the View ribbon tab, and from the graphics panel here we'll click the filters button, and we can see we already have filters here for 1 hour and 2 hour fire rating of walls. So if I select the 1 hour fire rating here, first I'll choose to hide unchecked categories, and we can see that this is now just applying to walls. And now looking at the filter rules, we can see that it's looking for the fire rating parameter and it must equal 1 hour. I'll select the 2 hour and we can see that this is the same, although it's looking for a value of 2 hours. So I'll click OK to close down the filters, and now we'll go to the properties palette and we'll click edit to open the visibility graphic overrides. And now in the filters tab here we'll click the add button, and we'll select both the wall 1 hour and 2 hour fire rating filters, and then click OK to add those to our view. So now we have those in the view. I'll click the override button for the cut pattern of the 1 hour fire rating. And we'll set this to be a solid fill, and then we'll click the color swatch and set it to be green. And then we'll click OK to save the color, and then OK to save the override. And now we'll click to override the cut lines as well, and we'll just change the color of these to be green. And then we can click OK and then OK once more to save that lines override. So now we'll click the cut patterns for the 2 hour filter, and we'll set this to be a solid fill. And again we'll click on the color swatch here and we'll change this to be red. And then click OK and then OK once more to save that. And then we'll click on the cut lines override and we'll change these to be red in color as well. So now we'll click OK to close the visibility graphic overrides. And we can see in the view now that the walls are coloured in either red or green, depending on their fire rating. So now that we have the fire compartment and furniture views set up, that completes adding the filters to our views.